Hi, everybody. Russ and Mike 11. Hope you are all safe and well. If you use the channel, please consider subscribing, hitting the bell icon so you may every time we put new content on. As always, I'll take a lovely channel sponsors on Tuck It. Check them out in the description below. So, another episode of the Noble Era. For those of you new to the series, where the hell have you been? But the idea is Mark Noble's played over 500 games for the club. He's across 17 seasons. Next season will be his 18th and final season. So we've basically going through every player that he's played with. Not played for, but played with. Yeah, he played for West Ham. Apart from a few loans, but you know what I mean. Played during his time at West Ham. So there's like something like 200 and something players. So we're going through them alphabetically, not chronologically, alphabetically. And now we're moving on. We've done A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, and O. So today's P. Today's episode is brought to you by the letter P. And there's quite a few P's actually. There are 11 Ps. So far we've had 156 players. We've got 156. God, that's a lot. That's a lot of Googling. There's 156 players I've Googled to get the picture. So there we go. And another 11 today. So as always, we try to do a little sort of guess who thing as well, where we sort of where we basically sort of sort of give you a little hint and see if you can guess who it is before we do it. One day we'll do it live. We will do it live one day, just when I can get around to it more than anything, to be honest. To be honest, it's trying to fit it all in. But anyway, so we've got 11. So let me just share my screen and we'll crack on, as they say. And so here we go. Let's take out Mark Noble. Not literally take out Mark Noble, but figuratively speaking. Okay, so the first player. He made 24 appearances for the club. He didn't score any goals. We've interviewed him, actually. He's a lovely guy. He's a very, very sweet man as well. Very, very sweet man. And really enjoyed his time at West Ham as well, which was lovely. They all have, but this guy particularly was very, he spoke very highly of West Ham. Of the fans, particularly being a right back as well, obviously close to the old chicken run. It is Mr. John Pantsil. You say Pantsil, I say Pantsil. Whether it's an I or not an I don't know if that's spelled correctly, but he spells it both ways. But Johnny Pantsil, he is the first player in today's episode. Next up. Oh, who could this be? I wonder this iconic picture. He played 129 times for the club, 12 goals, 3 times Ham of the Year, Football Writers Ham of the Year. Not Ham of the Year. That's sort of like Football Writers Player of the Year. The season we went down, was always mentioned as the captain. Captain's. Oh, I think you can guess who it is, but Captain Scott Parker. But he was, it was Matthew Upson was the captain at the time and stuff, and we've had like Colton come on and talk about how great he was as a player, and obviously that famous halftime speech he gave against West Brom. We were 3-0 down and came back to draw 3-3, similar to what we did to Tottenham early in the season. And obviously, unfortunately, Fulham went down. But where will his managerial, career take him? Will he stay at Fulham next season? Who knows? But Scott Parker is him. What a fantastic player. And you can see the effect someone like Scott had on Mark's career in terms of how he conducts himself as a player. There's no denying how much effort that man put into that badge in terms of wearing that shirt. Even when he was going to go to Tottenham, he played the night before, didn't he? He scored. I think it was Watford away in the Championship. He didn't hand a transfer request in. He, when it came, he went. And I think he was a fantastic player for Scott Parker. He had a big bum as well. He'd stick that big bum and do little pirouettes, the Parker pirouettes on the pitch. Next up, this is a good episode. We got some good players. Can we guess who this man is? He played 60 times for the club, scored 15 goals. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have had such an amazing, historic last season at the Bowling. That was an incredible season, and part of the reason was because the magic of this man. Not this man. This man was magic as well, but the magic of this man. Obviously, it's Mr. Dimitri Payet. What a phenomenal player he was. A Ballon d'Or nominee when he was playing for us. from not being in the French team whilst playing in the French league, he then was thrusted into the French team and was a star of the Euros that following summer. And yeah, of course, the way he left sours some people's judgment of him, but just you cannot deny he was arguable. I still say he will be probably for a long time the most gifted football player I've ever seen play for West Ham. Obviously, I was never around to see Devonshire and Brooklyn, but for me, he was phenomenal. Would get you off your seat. And that's what you wanted, isn't it? That's what you wanted a player. Next one. I just realised I haven't done this, guys. Haven't done this, but I don't think you know this guy. It's Josh Payne. Josh Payne. He made 4 appearances for the club, scored 1 goal as part of obviously the youth team, but never really sort of progressed and developed into getting into the first team regularly. But he made 4 appearances for the club and scored a goal. So Josh Payne, he's number 160 alphabetically. Next up, a forward. Any guesses? 19 appearances, 6 goals. Anyone? Obviously, surname is P. Lucas Perez. What could have been with Lucas? I really thought he was going to be it. I thought he was really going to be a good player for us, but never really progressed. And as we've seen throughout this whole series, where strikers, they come in, they just don't seem to get the return on investment in terms of the goals that we really want them to do. But Lucas Perez, he's in. Next up, another forward on loan. I believe he came on loan. Only made 4 appearances for the club. Didn't score. What a surprise! A lone striker coming and not scoring for us. I don't know if many people will remember him. Actually, it's Mladen Petric. I think he came from Olympiacos, I want to say, or someone like that. But was it Dynamo Kiev? I can't remember. But he wasn't. He didn't make many appearances for us, and as I said, we only made 4 and didn't score, unfortunately. So from the highs of Payet and Parker, we've now had Perez and Petric, and now another forward. And another one we've had on the channel, actually, a top guy. I really enjoyed talking to this guy. 62 appearances, 11 goals. Speaks really highly of his time at West Ham. Loved it. Obviously, part of quite a French. He's French as well, but sort of a French sort of corner of the squad. They had quite a few French players at the time, or players of French descendancy who may have ended up playing for African-based teams internationally, but were still, born and bred in France. To be honest, it's our French wizard himself, Frédéric Piquionne. And I hated that shirt. I hated the collar on that shirt. As I said, it kept cutting into your neck. And it's almost like they sort of took that sort of cut neck, which they had on Julian Dix's shirt, which he would do anyway, naturally, which was then stitched up for the next episode, next match. But they sort of did it, and I didn't like it. There's a funny days. I was playing for the kits, not playing with them, but I was hanging them up in my wardrobe, all the old kits. And those Macron kits, the fabric was really sort of really coarse. It wasn't very. It wasn't very silky like it is nowadays. Anyway, next one. I want to say another loan signing. Did he come to us on loan? I think so. 6 appearances, no goals. The Dog, I believe his nickname is. Any guesses whatsoever? Emmanuel Pogatetz. Obviously, a fantastic career at Middlesbrough, I remember, but just didn't do it for us, did he? Didn't do it for us. It's a mixed bag, Peas, let's be honest. It's a mixed bag. Next up, youth team guy, youth team player. He ended up making, I think, 13 appearances in the first team. Didn't score. Would love him to have played a lot more, partly because of who his dad is as well. But he was a good player, I thought, and he ended up playing a lot of games for Luton, I believe. It's Dan Potts. Fantastic player. I thought he was a really good left back and really good fullback for us. Particularly for the youth team, but never really progressed. I think there was a lot of other players in front of him, really, as well, unfortunately. And yeah, it's a shame because obviously his dad's still, obviously Steve is still heavily involved in the club and is a real club legend. And it would have been nice. We had a lot of them, didn't we? We had Dan Potts, we had Elliot Lee, we had Ollie Lee as well. We had George Moncur. There was like a raft of those sort of whose dads were West Ham players coming through, and they none of them really took it to the next stage. Did they? I would get it, consistently break into the first team, unfortunately. Next up. Now, actually, this is a bit of a trick. It's the guy on the right. It's the black guy on the right. You can just make out his face. With Mark Noble, actually, in the picture. That's why I picked it. He made 42 appearances for the club. Wow, I didn't realize he made so many appearances for the club. It was part of the raft. Is that the right? No, I don't have the right. Sort of conveyor belt of slightly older left backs or left fullbacks coming through to West Ham. So we had Stuart Pearce, we had Nigel Winterburn, who'll be in the W's. Is he in the W's? Let me just check. Did he play with him? No, he didn't. But Nigel Winterburn, obviously, before him, Stuart Pearce, Nigel Winterburn. We had this man. We had Rufus Brevet as well coming into play. It is Mr. Chris Powell. Mr. Chris Powell. And obviously that being the playoff finals in 2012. What a fantastic day that was. Just before Mark Noble, I believe, he had his stag do the next day. And so they went straight to the stag do, I believe. No, he didn't. I'm miles away. Sorry, I apologise. I'm about 6 years out of date. Sorry, I do apologise. I'm going to start again. End broadcast.